Alright, it's time for game 3. What the hell is this called? Justice for All. It's called Trials and Tribulation. That is the last game. We got freaking Mia again? What the hell is going on? Turnabout memories. We're going back to the damn past? Alright, let's play Turnabout Memories then. Ha! Ha! It's raining. Ah! How did I get into this mess? I heard this before. Dude is dead. Why? Why did I do that? You shot someone? That's me? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. Okay, fighting over a girl. I'm telling you for your own sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. And then he fucking killed him? Is that me? Did I do it? Yeah, please, this Phoenix. I mean, that definitely looks like me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Was I the one going out with the girl or the one telling the guy to stop? I think I was the one going out with the girl. Is it about Mia? 5 years earlier, Mia faced second trial. What the hell is going on? April 11, 9:40 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem. Oh. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You are going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I am relaxed. Garm. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Yep. Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully too. I just found out yesterday, about the case I mean. What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? And what do I got? Attorney's badge. Proof of my profession. The first and last time I wore it was a year ago. I didn't use it after that. Doug's autopsy report. Date and time of death 4/9 at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Marvin Grossberg, age 61. My superior and the head of at Grossberg Law Offices. Phoenix Wright, age 21. My client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. That's why he's got a mask on. And Doug Swallow, age 22, the victim. He was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. And Dahlia Hawthorne, age 20, Phoenix Wright's girlfriend, dated the victim, Doug Swallow, up until 8 months ago. Right, so these two were dating, then he broke up with her, and then she started dating him. Became his girlfriend, and then this guy was trying to warn him. Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you are so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. It's me. It's Phoenix. Cough, sniffle. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yup, it'll be fine. No problem. Cough, cough. Oh, great. Achoo, achoo. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My dog says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Nah. But please, let go of my shirt. Gosh, keep grabbing people, huh? That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. Yep, I need you to. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing, although I can channel the dead. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. As a witness for your mother's thing, yeah? But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. You did. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. Okay. Are we going straight in? Yep. Court starts at 10. April 11, 10 AM. District Court, courtroom number 3. Oh, it's this guy again. Well, you can't do shit. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Payne, young Payne. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Oh, great, like me. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Oh, he's flipping his hair. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Oh. Don't worry, little girl. It will be all over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? He's literally the most horrible attacker. He's the tutorial. Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University, Ivy League. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a 4th year student studying pharmacology. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Okay, I mean, the wire collapsed. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body, and he had an umbrella with him, I guess. But like the wire obviously fell on him. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, they then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well, the court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. Crime photo 1 added to the court record. The crime took place behind an IVU building. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for Sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. Being a sage. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? I mean, he was electrocuted. We know this. What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. Oh, come on, man. I am a genteel man, if you will. No, he's making all inappropriate jokes, man. What? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Ah, a perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause of death. Go on. Fatal electric shock. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. You don't know the cause of death? The hell? Groan. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? I did. Ah, the court record. I think I can see that pressing the tab. Yeah, we know. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good, hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that persecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just pressed the tab here. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? The fire? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. I mean, it's so clear already. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? By motive, of course. He also added here. Winston Payne, age 49, the prosecutor for this trial, a veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. Yeah, he has no confidence when I met him. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You are the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. He thinks he can just force me into making a mistake. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He is one smooth operator if you catch my drift. Really? They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Great. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? The girlfriend? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. If evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir, into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg. Try to set a better example for the young lady. Yeah, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. Yeah. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with other tab. So be sure to go over it all. That's wrong, by the way. Unless they changed it. It's R. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Yeah, it's R, not tab. It's Dahlia. Take that! The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. She is the killer, I'm guessing. She cut the wire. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. Probably. Hmm. Ah, he's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. Can you just call the freaking defendant? What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay, it's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Is it allowed? Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Is it allowed? I don't know. But here I am. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Not very smart. Oh, achoo. I was a university student. Mr. Wright. You understand, you understand you are accused of killing your fellow student, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was coughing. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us? I'm wearing a mask. It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Yeah, we got our first witness testimony. The victim and I. I admit I was there. But I am not a killer. All I did was find his body. You were speaking to him. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Okay, you did talk to him though. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Phew, it looks like the judge understands. Meh. You're being naive, Too naive. Huh? It seems that you have forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... this witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Yeah, you know. Cross-examination? How do I know nothing? He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client, yeah. Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down, so you are not like the other prosecutors. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie, a contradiction? He knew him, for sure, right? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? You will hire me in the future, so I guess not. The victim and I, cross-examination. Let us begin. I admit I was there. You can press him. Hold it. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered. Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Scream. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Achoo, great. Anyway, Mr. Wright. What were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? But I am not a killer. All I did was find his body. Okay, hold it. You say you found the body, so who called the police? Keeps coughing. Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. He was in shock. Well, what? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Chua, great. Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Give me a second. Alright. Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. Hold it. So, you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? I mean, he knew him. Same university. Achoo, great. Now see here. You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. Then news to me. Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly person? Ah yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love, so bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. Okay. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Maybe he heard him talking somewhere. True. Great. Well, Mr. Wright? Ah, no, it wasn't me. I am not a killer, I swear. Great. Tell the... Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. We hold it there. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor? What is it now? Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow, great. The British flag. Hmm. The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Yeah, there is a contradiction here. But Mr. Grossberg, quickly now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage from your own? You can manage on your own from this point? I can handle it myself. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia, one more time, from the very beginning of his testimony. Okay. Find the body, meet the guy, talk to the wannabe. Jack. Let me save right here. It's orange. Trials and tribulations. So we need to present some evidence here. There is no Union Jack on the back of his shirt.
Objection!
It just is not there in the photo. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute, he's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You would have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. But please forgive me. Wah. Mia, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Oh. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. Quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Ugh. Uh-oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? I guess, maybe. Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually I seem to have lost it somewhere. Lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. He has it in his hand. Well, what's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X.
Objection!
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. Objection. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. Okay, that's bad. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Mr. Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. It just seems like he dropped it by mistake. Someone cut the wire and it hit him. Instead of Wright, I don't know. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Crime photo 2 added to the court record. The victim's watch stopped at the time of death. I see. Cold Killer X added to the court record. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken, probably by electric shock. Right. There's 12 on the top. Small hand points to 3, I believe, yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 3. So it's just after 3. BPM, it's just after 3. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Okay. Broken. Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoid. Witness testimony, what really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit and then at around 3 PM we split up. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. I have been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. Yep, achoo. I am sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. He probably is lying still. What really happened? Cross-examination. The truth is, I went because he called me. Called you for what? Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is my it's kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart. Good. Ooh. What was that for, Mia? Slapped him? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden because you like him. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. Right. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. Hold it. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated that you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Really? Oh ho, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details about the timing of the meeting. So you are absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. Okay. But they are always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab ripping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. 1 second. Hold it again. Mr. Swallow indicated it, yeah, on time. Pharmacology, alchemist. Ask him about the department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. You would have been killed inside and then brought out. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we are getting somewhere. We talked for a bit and then at around 3 we split up. Okay, what did you talk about? So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. I don't think so. Hang out again sometime. I wish that were true. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes. But why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. No, you went back for your bottle of medicine, I'm guessing. No one believes him? So true. Great. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this, yeah. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, Did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. Okay, everyone knew. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Someone has planted it, obviously. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us, okay, and she stole the bottle then. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Youch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I am so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Great. She loves Phoenix Wright apparently. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I am not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, you are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? One of two ways, either by the high voltage machinery inside the freaking building, or this probably the cable is much more likely. The cable has high voltage running through it because it has to go into the building where they have high voltage machinery. So then it broke and fell on him. If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. I mean, I can establish the method. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we have heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. He. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Huh, of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. The freaking wire above him? This. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. What do you mean, the wire? I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Point it out. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Wire? Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. the machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. Give me a second. Alright, high voltage cables. So then, the high voltage cable. Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. Nope. Achoo, it was his girlfriend. Probably. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. Really? You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. Okay. The umbrella. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. Ah, you mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. Well, what? Shoved him? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. That sounds bad. Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us. We're done. Mr. Grossberg. My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor. At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Hold it, yeah. He's sweating. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? Oh. You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I am your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. Oh, here's an objection. We have already established the defendant's guilt. There is no further need for him to say anything. Cough, cough. Wait a minute, Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. Objection. But I have already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further... Cough. I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Duck Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your own sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. What? What? Stop it. And then he pushes him. Don't talk about her like that. He pushed him, fell down, and then the cable snapped and fell on him. Why is he sweating so much? What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we are all absolutely convinced you are. So please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. He didn't kill him though yet. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. You're not helping at all, man. Witness testimony when I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. I see. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That is true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Alright. Cross-examination. When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. What was he talking? So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Great. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make it harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket and he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. But he fell down. And when you did that, there were no severed cable anywhere to be seen. Right, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap as asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise. And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? Cable snapping? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
Objection!
You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details, of course. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Thunder, maybe? Aha! Could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. Oh, when I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. It broke, right. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Come on. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Pay. What do you think? Is there something important in the testimony just now? Well, yeah, it's important, maybe. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course, it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. That is usually important. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. Give him a shove. Let's hold it there. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella, and you are certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him, but then the umbrella was far away when the photo. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time, knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. Ooh. My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Continue on with your testimony, witness. And that is probably the point. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. Hold it. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah, but like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead.
Hold
Hold
it.
it. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. Nope, nobody. Gee, could that stupid cough possibly sound any more phonier? That case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever. Yes, sir. Right now, I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradiction. Give a shove. Yep, and this is the point that we want. Because if you look at the court record, the umbrella is further away from him. So he shoved him there, probably.
Objection.
Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Got him. Order. The victim, he moved. Mr. Page, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Umbrella added to the court record, owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. Okay. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. It was under his body.
Objection.
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial. But as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No. His hair becomes spiky. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix's testimony added to the court record. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Well done, Mia. Hee hee. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Probably. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. What the hell are you saying? Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, the killer. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I am sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Ooh. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I have been waiting for this. You can't be serious because she hates her. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. 20 minutes. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Good point to end it, I think. April 11, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Hello, Phoenix. Miss Faye, I am so sorry about what happened back there. I will say, first of all, and let me check. What the hell does the P stand for then? Her name is Dolly, Dahlia Hawthorne. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what this stands for. I'll see you in the next one though.